morning. Thank you for tuning in to Monday's edition of Quick This Morning. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. The Deputy Prime Minister of Russia is going to be in India today. He will be holding crucial talks on trade and commerce. We'll get you the details. Let's get started first up with the top stories. Top Court's Senior Judge Justice Sanjiv Khanna will take oath as the 51st Chief Justice of India at Rashtrapati Bhavan today. President Draupadi Murmu will administer him the oath of office at 10 a.m. The outgoing CJI retired on Sunday, which making his way for Sir Justice Sanjiv Khanna, who is set to serve a 6-month tenure as the Chief Justice. The Government of India recently issued a formal notification appointing Justice Sanjiv Khanna as the next Chief Justice of India. The Ministry of Law and Justice, in its notification, has confirmed that the President, under Clause 2 of Article 124 of the Constitution of India, has appointed Justice Khanna to the highest judicial post in the country. Security forces are engaged in an intense operation in Kishtwar forests, targeting 3 to 4 Jaish terrorists involved in the 7th of November killing of 2 village defence guards, Nayab Subedar Rakesh Kumar, who was killed in action, and 3 soldiers who were injured. Security has been heightened across the region, with senior police officials and army officers who are at the site overseeing the operations. Residents have been urged to remain vigilant as forces aim to neutralize the terror threat and restore stability in the region. Ahead of the upcoming Delhi Assembly elections, the Aam Aadmi Party has intensified its preparations. Starting today, the Aam Aadmi Party will launch its district workers' conference across the country. Arvind Kejriwal, the national convener of the AAP and former Chief Minister of Delhi, will also address workers to motivate and align them with the party's strategy for the elections. The conference will be held across 14 districts in the national capital. In a significant crackdown on cross-border smuggling, the Border Security Force have seized 2 drones and a consignment of heroin in separate operations along the Punjab border on Sunday. In fact, the recoveries, which took place in Taran Taran and Amritsar districts, are part of BSF's intensified efforts to curb the use of drones for illegal activities. The first drone was found in a partially broken condition approximately 2:10 p.m. by BSF troops in a farming field in a village in Amritsar on Sunday. Later in the day, around 4:30 p.m., a second drone was recovered during a joint search operation that was conducted by the BSF and the Punjab Police. The drone was located in a field close to a village in Taran Taran district, following intel that was provided by the BSF. As the Jharkhand Assembly elections draw near, Union Home Minister Amit Shah is set to hold significant public rallies across the state today. These rallies are expected to energize party supporters and outline key points of BJP's agenda. The first rally will take place at Adityapur football ground at around 12 p.m. This region is known for its diverse electorate is crucial for the party's outreach efforts. Following this, Amit Shah will proceed to address a gathering at Kali Mandir ground in the Simdega Assembly constituency around 2 p.m. This event is anticipated to draw significant attention due to Simdega's strategic importance on tribal heartland of Jharkhand. And in other news that we are tracking, suspected hill-based terrorists launched intermittent gun and bomb attacks in parts of Lamlai Assembly constituency in Manipur's Imphal East district on Sunday. Security forces, army, BSF and police retaliated. That resulted in fierce exchange of fire at a village. Tension meanwhile remained high in the surrounding villages as farmers were unable to tend to their paddy fields due to firing from the hill top positions towards the low-lying fields of Sana Sabi. To prevent the situation from escalating further, additional forces have also been deployed in the region. The BJP on Sunday promised to enact an anti-conversion law with stringent provisions in Maharashtra and also assured a skill census for training as per industry needs, as well as free ration to low-income groups. Union Home Minister Amit Shah unveiled the 25-point Sankalp Patra 2024, as per which financial assistance component under the Mahayuti government's Ladki Behin scheme for women would be increased from 1,500 per month to 2,100 per month. The BJP's manifesto promised an anti-conversion law that will also be enacted, which provides for stringent action against forceful and deceitful conversions through the skill census. The ruling party also assured to ascertain the needs of the industry and upgrade the skill training wherever necessary.
देश में कानून नहीं है, हर राज्यों ने बनाया है और ये कानून के मसौदे पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी अपनी एक आंतरिक कमेटी भी बनाएगी और महायुति की सरकार बनने के बाद सरकार भी एक कमेटी बनाकर सभी स्टेक होल्डर से चर्चा कर पर कठोर से कठोर कानून जिसके कारण धर्मांतरण शून्य हो जाए, इस प्रकार का कानून लेकर हम आएंगे।
During the Samvidhan Bachao Sammelan in Mumbai, Congress National President Mallikarjun Kharge took aim at Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah and other BJP leaders for promoting what the party alleged divisive rhetoric. Kharge alleged that the ruling party was deepening social divides through the use of provocative language and policies centered on caste and religion.
पटेंगे तो क्या है, कटेंगे। अरे पहले तो आप मनुस्मृति स्वीकार करके पहले ही समाज को बांट दिया है। पहले अब फिर और बांटना चाहते हो।
The Puchamba temple in Jokul village, Rangareddy district was vandalized by unidentified extremists who desecrated 3 Hindu temples. Disturbing visuals that surfaced showed the damage. Locals promptly apprehended one suspect while 9 others escaped. The arrested individual was handed over to the police after being thrashed by the villagers. Hindu organizations have now demanded immediate action against the perpetrators. Local authorities have even launched an investigation and security has been heightened around the temple vicinity. This incident has raised concerns over safety of religious sites in this region. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister on Sunday alleged that YSRCP Chief Jagan Mohan Reddy is threatening IPS officers and wants that the state government would take action on its own if any harm befalls the police officials. The Deputy CM's remarks follow. Rather, these remarks were made by not the Chief Minister but the Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan, who said that these remarks are statements by Jagan Mohan Reddy who want that future of YSRCP government would not spare that warned that YSRCP government in future would not spare police officials allegedly harassing opposition party members. And time to take a look at the business stories that we will be watching out for in Monday's edition today, this morning, and of course in this edition of our broadcast. State Bank of India. The State Bank of India has not seen any impact in Canada despite the ongoing diplomatic standoff between India and Canada. SBI operates 8 branches through a wholly owned subsidiary in Canada, including one in Toronto and in Brampton and Vancouver as well. India-Canada ties have been frosty for over a year now, ever since the country accused India of plotting assassinations of its citizens, and the relationship hit a new low last month with expulsion of Indian diplomats. Meanwhile, according to local bank chairman, the bank will focus on expanding its core interest income through efforts including pushing yields on advances by having the right product mix. It will also look to extract more from the same customer in its core income efforts, expanding efforts. A new iOS 18 feature is reportedly making it more difficult for law enforcement to unlock iPhones that have been locked for several days. In fact, this update, quietly rolled out to all eligible iPhone models, triggers a reboot if the device has not been unlocked through legitimate methods within 4 days' time, making it harder to bypass. The functionality was discovered by iPhone security experts after reports surfaced of iPhones stored at police stations in automatically rebooting mode. The update is part of Apple's ongoing effort to enhance iPhone security, further complicating efforts by law enforcement who have long pressured Apple to create backdoors for data extraction, particularly in criminal investigations. After Vistara merged into Air India Group today, the number of full-service carriers in India's rapidly expanding aviation sector will shrink from 5 to just 1, a decline that has unfolded over past 17 years. The merger will also see Singapore Airlines, which owns 49% of Vistara, retain a 25.1% stake in Air India. This marks the end of another Indian airline with significant foreign ownership following the liberalization of foreign direct investment norms. Since the 2007 merger of Indian Airlines and Air India, India had been home to at least 5 full-service carriers. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar emphasized on Sunday that while the world is shifting towards a more diverse and multipolar order, industrialized economies continue to hold significant importance and remain key investment destinations. He also acknowledged the rise of new global players but pointed out that the established Western economies have not lost their relevance. These economies still represent major markets, hubs for technological advancement and centers of innovation. Dr. S. Jaishankar even cautioned against overstating the shift and urged a balanced understanding of the evolving global landscape. Ahead of the Vistara Air India merger, some Air India pilots are expressing dissatisfaction over the differing retirement age policies at the two Tata Group-owned airlines, a matter that management is yet to be addressed by the management. At Air India, the retirement age for pilots and staff is set at 58, while at Vistara it is 60. Vistara, which is jointly owned by Tata Group and Singapore Airlines, is merging with Air India today as part of Tata Group's consolidation of its aviation operations. According to current DGCA norms, pilots can serve until the age of 65. In August, Air India announced a policy that following certain pilots to be retained on contract for up to 5 years after retirement with the option for extension until they turn 65. And time to take a look at the international stories that we're tracking in Monday's edition of Quick This Morning. Let's get started. Tens of thousands of Spaniards marched in the eastern city of Valencia on Saturday to demand the resignation of regional president in charge of emergency response to last week's catastrophic floods that left more than 200 dead and others missing. A group of protesters even clashed with riot police in the city, where the protesters started their march to the seat of regional government. Police used batons to beat them. To thrash the protesters. Regional leader Carlos Mizon is under immense pressure after his administration failed to issue flood threats to citizens' cell phones hours after the flooding started on the night of 29th of October. Meanwhile, rescue operations have been underway in a village in Lebanon after a deadly Israeli airstrike targeting the Hezbollah group, an Israeli airstrike that killed at least 23 people in the village north of Beirut and far from the areas in southern and eastern Lebanon where the terrorist Hezbollah group has a major presence. Lebanon's health ministry said further six people were wounded in this attack. A massive drone strike rattled Moscow and its suburbs overnight into Sunday, injuring a woman and temporarily even halting traffic at some of Russia's busiest airports. Meanwhile, in the statement that said that Russian forces had suffered their worst month of casualties in October since their full-scale invasion of Ukraine in the month of February in 2022, the chief of UK Defence Staff said that Moscow's troops suffered an average of 1,500 dead and wounded every single day, bringing their total losses in the war to 7 lakh. Moscow mayor even said a total of 32 drones were shot down over Russia's capital outskirts. Russia's aviation authorities said that flights were briefly grounded at a major international airport, including some of the main cities in the country. US President Joe Biden will host President-elect Donald Trump for a traditional post-election meeting in the Oval Office on Wednesday. Such a meeting is customary between the outgoing president and the incoming president, the president-elect, and is meant partly to mark the start of a peaceful transfer of power and America's democracy. The White House said Biden called Trump last Wednesday to congratulate him and invite him to meet in the Oval Office. Thousands of protesters took to streets of Tel Aviv on Saturday to demand a deal to release the remaining hostages still held by Hamas group in the Gaza region. Relatives of those taken and others blamed Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's government for not doing enough to reach a deal to bring their loved ones home 13 months after the attack by Hamas terrorists, which killed 1,200 people, triggered the war and saw 250 people take to Gaza on Saturday. It also saw Qatar suspending its key mediation efforts between Hamas and Israel after growing frustration between the lack of progress on the ceasefire deal that has not yet been struck.
I really don't know if it's good or bad. I hope that the fact that they are pushing Hamas leaders out of Qatar will push Hamas to go for a deal. Of course, they need some way to push Netanyahu to go for a deal. Of course, this is something that the Biden administration can do.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Sunday that Donald Trump and him do not see eye to eye on the Iranian threat. Netanyahu said that he had spoken with Trump 3 times in recent days, adding the talks were important. Trump will ascend to the highest office in the country as a brutal war in Gaza still rages and Israel presses its offensive against the Lebanese Hezbollah terror group, is the statement from Netanyahu. King Charles III honoured fallen service personnel in central London on Sunday as the Princess of Wales looked on in a further sign in a royal family in slowly returning to normalcy at the end of the year, in which 2 of the most popular royals were sidelined by cancer. Remembrance Sunday is an event in the UK with monarch leading senior royals, political leaders including Prime Minister Starmer and his 8 living predecessors and envoys from the Commonwealth countries in laying wreaths at Portland Stone Memorial that serves as a focal point for honouring the nation's war dead. It is held on the second Sunday of November to mark the sign of armistice to end World War I on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. Rival political group of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina on Sunday thwarted a plan by Awami League Party to hold a rally in Bangladesh capital, seen as a potential first effort to make a comeback on the streets since Sheikh Hasina fled the country in August amid mass uprising. The rally in Dhaka by Hasina's party was to commemorate the death of party activists on 10th of November in 1987, which sparked a mass protest against former military dictator H.M. Irshad. He was eventually ousted from office, ending his 9-year rule in 1990. The day is commemorated as Democracy Day in the country. And for now, we head into a very short break. When we come back, we'll get you all the action that we are tracking from the world of sports and entertainment. Do not go anywhere. And welcome back. Let's now take a look at the sports stories that we're tracking in Monday's edition of Quick This Morning. Let's get started. Aden Markham, South Africa defeated India in the second T20 International of the 4th match series. Both the teams have won 1 match each. The host defeated India by 3 wickets. Odisha FC and Mohan Begum Super Giant played out a 1-1 draw in an exciting India Super League match at the Kalinga Stadium. The host scored the early goal through Hugo Bomas from an indirect free kick. However, Manveer Singh cancelled it with a brilliant header in the first half itself. Ajit Chauhan and Rohit Raghav shine bright as U Mumbai edged out UP Udhas 35-33 in a nail-biting contest to open the Noida leg of Pro Kabaddi League match. Pakistan registered a famous series win as Mohammad Rizwan began his full-time white ball captaincy stint on a high note in a 3-match series against Australia. India cricket team captain Rohit Sharma will not be travelling with the team to Australia for the Border Gavaskar Trophy due to personal reasons. According to a report, the Indian team is set to depart for Australia in 2 batches. Pakistan Cricket Board Chairman Mohsin Naqvi initiated talks with senior government officials to discuss future course of action after ICC conveyed to PCB about India's unwillingness to tour the country for next year's Champions Trophy. The PCB confirmed that it received an email from the ICC regarding India's reluctance to travel to Pakistan for the tournament, even as Naqvi had earlier turned down a hybrid model. India's senior off-spinner R. Ashwin has described the 0-3 whitewash in the Test series against New Zealand as shattering and took the blame for the unprecedented drubbing at home. This is the first time India suffered a whitewash in a series comprising 3 or more tests at home, having gone unbeaten on their turn for the last 12 years. Wolverhampton Wanderers earned their last Premier League win of the season and moved off the bottom of the table as they defeated fellow relegation battlers Southampton. Pablo Sarabia scored the fastest even Premier League goal to give them the breakthrough with only 1 minute and 48 seconds on the clock. Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes marked his 250th appearance for the club in style with a brilliant goal in a 3-0 win against Leicester. The match was United's final game before new head coach Ruben Amorim took charge. Australian batting great Ricky Ponting has backed Jasprit Bumrah to shoulder the dual responsibility of spearheading the Indian pace attack as well as leading the team if Rohit Sharma misses the opening test of the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Ponting, though, added that captaincy will be the hardest thing for the premier fast bowler. Well, time to take a look at entertainment stories, all that we're tracking from the world of glitz and glamour in this edition. Katy Perry, Kelly Rowland, Mindy Kaling and Paris Hilton were among the stars to attend the Baby 2 Gala in Los Angeles on Saturday night. In fact, this year, the charity fundraiser event celebrated 13 years of Baby to Baby's work, providing basic essentials to millions of children living in poverty across the United States. In this event that was held, other stars in attendance were included Nicole Richie, Anna Kendrick and Jesse Tyler, among others. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo premiered Wicked in Los Angeles on Saturday, arriving together. Two stars emphasized how fandom brings people together. They also spoke about being in awe of each other's vocal abilities on set. Joining the cast, Ethan Slater, who plays Bok, opened up about his journey to the film, acknowledging both triumphs and setbacks.
First of all, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life. I have met some of my dearest friends through being fans and made real friends through it too. So I think it's such a beautiful thing that pop music, pop culture, these films and art that we create can create a safe space for people who feel like they don't belong.
Busta Rhymes will be live in Manchester on Sunday to receive the Global Icon Award at the MTV EMA's the 12th Grammy Award nominee, who has more than 10 million album sales, will also take over the EMA stage to perform a much-anticipated medley of his greatest hits. Other performers on the night will include Grammy winner Tyla, viral hitmaker Benson Boone, English singer and songwriter Rain, multi-platinum singer-songwriter Shawn Mendes, American powerhouse and Mexican star singers sisters in this edition.
To have a light-hearted moment, but at the same time I feel like in the air, I don't know if there's going to be a tribute to Liam Payne. And the last EMAs we met Liam, we had the chat, we did the same show back in the day, so we came from the same place. So at the same time I feel that's in the air, you know, he's here with us tonight.
Veteran actor Mukesh Khanna, famous for playing India's original superhero Shaktiman, has announced the return of iconic character to Indian screens. Khanna took to Instagram account to share a poster and announce a teaser video that gives a glimpse of Shaktiman's comeback soon. Filmmaker Vivek Ranjan Agnihotri on Sunday announced that his upcoming movie, The Delhi Files, has started filming. In October, Agnihotri had said that Delhi Files will be released in two parts. The first part, titled Delhi Files, the Bengal chapter, will be released in theatres on 15th of August next year. Noted Tamil actor Delhi Ganesh, who essayed a spectacular variety of memorable roles in more than 400 films, passed away late Saturday night at his residence following an illness. Prime Minister Modi, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister and a host of leaders and film personalities condoled his demise.